Hello there, fellow fish freaks. Welcome to episode number 2 of Species Sunday. This video I'm going to talk about the Rummynose tetra, otherwise known as Hemigrammus Rhodostomus is the correct way to say it. So, let's go and have a look at that then, shall we? Hello everyone, welcome back. So, as I mentioned earlier, in this video we're going to be talking about the Rummynose tetra. It's a beautiful fish, small growing and suitable for all your communal tanks. So the Latin name of this fish is Hemigrammus Rhodostomus. And as I've already stated, it's a small growing fish. It's from the Caracin family, which all tetras are from, and it originates from South America. Now, it's most often found in the Rio Orinoco and the lower Amazon basin in parts of Venezuela and Brazil. Now, as you probably know, in these specific waterways, they're heavily stained with tannic acid, and the tannic acid is basically it's caused from all the fallen leaf litter and hung over branches from the trees that are rooted above the banks, and these are often called blackwater rivers. Now, apart from the main river, these fish can also be found in small tributaries located throughout the lower Amazon basin, as stated before. Now, the temperature of these waters, they do have a variance, obviously, between a wet and dry season, but typically that variance isn't really that large. It varies normally between 76 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the pH of that water is generally found at around 5.5 to 7.0. That obviously meaning that the water's soft, and with all the tannins in the water, it's quite acidic. Now, in your general fish tank, obviously these values range quite a lot. Some of you have got great water straight out the tap, and others have to condition it. Now, throughout the years of me keeping this fish, I've found that the Rummynose tetra does actually adapt very well to a range of different values within the water parameters, really. I've kept these fish between 6.5 and 7.5 pH without any problems, and I generally keep them at between 75 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, setting up a tank for these, it's basically as easy or as hard as you make it, really. You could go down the true biotope way, and to do that, you'd basically you'd have a lot of leaf litter, you'd have a lot of overhanging root wood, plenty of bog wood, and obviously your water would be heavily stained with tannic acid. Or you can add them to your general everyday communal tank. It really doesn't matter. The key thing to remember when buying this tetra, as well as many other tetras, is you really need to buy them in groups. I always recommend when I'm selling these that customers to buy at least 6, 10 if you can, because these fish really do best in a group. Now, the general tank size for this fish, I would recommend if you've got a group of between 6 and 10, you're going to want a 24 by 12 by 12 inch tank at least, which normally comes out at around 60 litres or so. Now, as I've already mentioned, they do a lot better in groups. Always buy at least 6, and if you finances allow and you've got enough room in the tank, get 10, 15, 20. They look absolutely brilliant in a big shoal. And unlike a lot of other tetras, these actually shoal quite tightly, as you can see in the video, that wherever one goes, the others tend to follow. The fish reach about 3.5 centimetres in total length, so it's not really a fish that grows overly large, and it's certainly not a boisterous fish. It won't outright kill any of your other tank mates or anything. Now, one little trick with these, if for whatever reason Rummynose aren't happy, there's something in the water that they don't like, or they're not doing too well on the food that you're providing, the red on the face goes really drab in colour, sometimes completely gone, and that basically means that they're unhappy. When they are happy, as you can see in the video, the red is really pronounced, so that's just a little tip for you really. Ideal tank mates for these fish, other Hemigrammus tetra species, you could have small dwarf cichlids like a pistogramma, or Corydoras catfish. I've seen the Rummynose tetra being used quite prolifically within discus aquariums, because they can take the temperature that discus require. So, you know, they look great with shoaling around with a little group of discus, so you could even have them with your discus. Rummynose tetra are omnivorous, which basically means they'll eat anything and everything. These guys in the video are not fussy at all. They will literally eat anything that I give them. Although, you don't want the foods to be too large, because they have only got small mouths. So foods like microgranules, crushed flake food, baby brine shrimp, daphne, small daphnia and cyclops are perfect for them. If you can, if you culture your own live foods like grindle worm, smaller white worm, again live daphnia, pinch of bloodworm, feed it them. It always does fish well to feed on live food once in a while. A little side note to this, there's actually 3 different species of Rummynose that are currently circulating the hobby. A Hemigrammus Rhodostomus is the true Rummynose, but we also have the Firehead tetra, which is Hemigrammus glaheri. Quite often they get labelled as Rummynose tetras in the shops. And then finally is the false Rummynose tetra, which isn't actually in the Hemigrammus genus. It's Petitella georgiae, which actually isn't an easy fish to discover. It's quite a hard to find fish. I won't really go into the breeding of these guys, because that's not really what I wanted to do. It would drag out the video quite a lot. But if you would like to learn about breeding these fish, then stick a comment in the comment section below and let me know. I can always revisit the video with a breeding section, that's not a problem. So, without taking up any more of your time, I'll leave it there. If you've got any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask, I don't bite. And as always, stay sexy, and I'll see you in another video soon.